So what are we starting here?
Probably sandbox would make the most sense.
Maybe.
Since I wanted to actually try building some stuff. Instead of it just being an all-around deathmatch and just playing with guns. I'm getting 153 FPS on the main menu.
So, I mean, now we know what was keeping us crouched, so, you know.
Oh, what was doing that? I forget.
It was just because it has the motion sense for that. And I was sitting down.
Are you going to be sitting down this time around?
At least not at first, anyway. I thought I found a workaround at some point, some way to disable the crouch control, but I don't know if that was actually GarrysMod or if that was just VRCraft. Because VRCraft just had an option
VR
to...
mod? You mean VR mod?
I mean Vivecraft.
It's not Vivecraft.
No,
wait, Minecraft? Are you actually talking about Vivecraft?
Yes, were you paying attention to what I was saying?
No, I was.
I said I couldn't. I said I can't remember if I actually found that option in GarrysMod or just Vivecraft.
Oh, I'm retarded.
Okay, so anyway, see, so I have. Wasn't Golden City just nighttime big city?
No, Golden City I think is a Pokemon world. Pokemon thing.
No, you're thinking of Goldenrod City.
Oh, I have no idea.
I know Golden City is. I know Golden
City, big, but it's some kind of city at night.
Yeah, I didn't know it's a city at night. I just forget if it wasn't a variant on.
Dude, is there a Pokemon? Yeah, let's just go to. Do you have Big City?
Let's see. Big City improved.
Let's go on that because it's pretty nice.
Yeah,
it's actually got interest. It's got more interesting things. The only thing I'm sad about is it removes the jump scare.
Oh, the Big City improved. It does.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. See,
there's a little secret in the original Big City where if you press E on the door in Cafe Baltic, which is like in one of the corners of the map, it would play a really loud sound and throw you back.
Ah. Yeah.
What would have been better is if it teleported you, flashed something on your screen, then killed you. That would have been better. Or heck, I can think of an entire sequence that I'd probably want to add.
Okay. And I remember to start multiplayer this time. Isn't that? I feel like that should be a meme at this point. Is accidentally starting your GarrysMod game in single player. Because it always defaults to it.
Inside joke.
Inside jokes have become memes. Everyone understanding the meme isn't a requirement. In fact, most memes are inside jokes, technically. At least the ones based on media. Like, I mean, you know, again, how many people who haven't already played Skyrim immediately understood the exact reference of getting shot in the knee?
Good point.
You know,
Half-Life 2 Lost Coast.
Well, an adventurer simply doesn't simply retire after getting shot in the knee.
One does not simply.
No, apparently I don't know how I need to. Now I need to double check everything Game Theory has ever done because apparently MattBat does kind of jump to conclusions a bit. But Game Theory has concluded that if you did get shot in the knee, you would pretty much be done adventuring. Which that one I guess kind of makes sense to the point, but.
Oh yeah, have fun using that knee now, sucker. Hold on, let me go fill my water bottle before we start. Yeah.
All right. Oh. Of course it displays on stream, but I can't get rid of it quickly because my monitor decides that that's when it doesn't want to display properly. Yeah, no, I don't remember what I... Oh, I see.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright. Um, GarrysMod is generally loaded, but...
Can't start VR mod?
Well, it hasn't... I haven't gotten an error or anything yet, but...
Oh, are you starting the actual server right now?
Yeah, the server should be running.
Lowercase delta.
Hey, Delta.
I can't hear text to speech.
God, I literally just moved the mouse to the gaming computer, too. God damn it.
Sorry.
LinkCraftGaming, well you do look confused.
Hold on. Yeah, because I hit. Okay, now you should be able to hear it. I selected the wrong thing to go to B1, so instead of text-to-speech, we're getting literally nothing.
LinkCraftGaming, test.
Well, I mean, I could hear it just fine. Like, it just blocks it. I couldn't hear it because I wasn't broadcasting it. God, some of the Garrys, because of the colored, because of the font choice, some of Garrys Mod's menus are hard to read if I'm not looking at my monitor straight ahead, which makes, and it doesn't help. The way the VR set is resting on my head is kind of messing with my freaking eyelids. It's on my forehead. There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I am back from playing DVD. It was fun.
Oh. It's telling me module update is required. So I don't. How do I fix that?
I honestly have no clue. I am.
But I have a feeling that will require restarting the server.
Oh, what's going wrong?
VR mod says error module update required.
Oh. Yeah, probably. Which you do that by there's a bat file in the actual files of them.
Okay, I know the file exists. What do I do with it? Oh, bat, duh. So I just have to run.
Batch file.
Oh,
yeah, there's a batch file in the actual settings themselves.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Well, okay. Well, let me close the game here and do that.
I tried slamming you on the ground. Link, you're probably gonna have to as well if you're here.
Do what?
Update the files. I remember adding a shortcut to your desktop to update VR mod for you.
I'm fine with just going in.
So you want me to click on that?
Yes.
Probably. And I'll start Parsec if anything goes wrong.
Okay, Steam apps, common, GarrysMod. Oh, okay. Wait, no, that's.
Okay, I'm updating Gmod VR right now.
What bat file am I looking for?
You guys just cut out heavily for me because Discord decided to just start dying.
Okay. What bat file am I looking for?
Let me just connect to Link so I can remember, because it's set on the tutorial, and I should just be able to right-click a shortcut and see. Where's the shortcut again?
It's right there. I clicked on it. I just clicked on it.
I'm just clicking properties. Update in the bin file, just in your bin. It should say update vmod.bat.
Also, were you not listening to what Bloxy was saying?
Actually,
what?
No, update VR mod. Sorry, it's hard to read the text with Parsec.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I clicked on update VR mod.
Okay,
I know. I was checking to Link. You're still not listening. I was just seeing what the file was that you clicked on, so I could tell Cake that.
Okay.
Because he needs to know.
I checked both Garry's mod bin and Garry's bond bin, and I don't see.
Did it say Lua bin?
Probably should have checked.
Should check the full file path. There it is. Yeah, you're right, Link.
Yeah, Lua. My bad. And guess who keeps forgetting Parsec is not TeamViewer? Because I'm used to TeamViewer, where the bar would be at the very top of the screen.
Huh, the actual bat file just tells it to remove a file?
It does?
Yes, it tells it to remove a file. It looks like
Are you editing it?
It prints with the command in the command prompt. Okay, no, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, I see. So it grabs the file, force moves the new one, and then it removes the old one? What? I don't know. Weird. It just seems like... I'm probably overthinking it. It's probably just a simple download this, copy this, but, you know. It probably just removes the remaining files that are no longer necessary at the end.
Yeah, probably. I'm assuming. I think it's some kind of I think it's a special command prompt. I think it uses an actual extra program.
Yeah, it looks like it just downloads the master zip from their GitHub and replaces the files.
Also, why is the resolution kind of weird?
On what?
On stream. Like, look at the resolution of that game.
Because when you're in VR and you know what's on your monitor, it's half the monitor twice. You know, you have the left eye and the right eye.
Yeah.
I cropped it so that it looks right once I go into VR.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. I'm probably not gonna do VR because I'm not in the mood for VR.
That's your prerogative. God, oh wait, what map did I even decide to tell it to load? I remember set the multiplayer, but I forgot to select the particular map, so I might just be loading Construct. Let me really should unplug the flash drive from that thing so that it doesn't keep opening up in the other computer, but... Ugh. I don't want to get a bit of sweat on the eyepiece. It must be how people with glasses feel.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
they
take you
fed
in
on
yet?
me.
Wait, what?
Are you in the game yet?
It's loading Lewis stuff.
Ah. I think I can join you, but it's probably gonna
Plus, I don't even.
It's probably just gonna stay with connecting.
Plus, I forgot to actually select the map, so I don't know what was selected.
Should just default to what you had selected before, since you shut the game.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, the only thing I paid attention to was that I did make sure it was set to 8 players. So we hear what you're listening to, Bloxy. Bloxy.
Yeah? Oh,
Yes, and you're broadcasting what you're watching onto a live stream.
Ouch.
Ouch.
It's just something about countering Legion from DBD.
No.
Yeah, but can you not watch it while there's a live stream going on?
Can you shush?
Hey,
Oh,
Packeter.
apparently I can join them.
Is it actually easy to go through that door? Going through that door actually easier? Oh, washing machine?
Yeah, neighbors are moved in.
Oh, I guess it's their washing. I guess that makes sense if they have their own washing machine. Okay, hold on.
Lowercase delta, is this a game I can join?
Yeah, I think you should just be able to join. I haven't added any more add-ons since whatever, so.
Lowercase delta, ye.
What? It still says it needs updated.
Did you let it run?
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
did.
Well, yes, I opened it. It gave me a prompt and then it closed. I assumed when the command prompt closed itself that it was done. I hate it when updating something's more annoying than installing it to begin with.
Server shutting down?
Oh, because it didn't. The VR wasn't actually updated, apparently. Let me take a look. Do I need to run as admin or something?
I didn't run it as admin. Just
Well,
you can try running it as admin.
yeah, and it displays a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, then stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it should work now.
Is it supposed to be red text, by the way?
Yeah, probably.
You ran it yourself. You should know. I hope there isn't some extraction that I don't know about because I just kind of got secondhand from someone who. GarrysMod. Also, even though there isn't, even though there is that update bat, the instructions in the AFQ say to just re-download it and install it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then they probably broke the bat and made it so, and it just stopped working, so they gave up.
Yeah, I mean, downloading won't take long. It wasn't a big download anyway, but I just would have done it already if you hadn't instructed me at all and I looked up the instructions. Technical difficulties, folks.
Oh, okay.
But
What are you trying to do? 'Cause it's
up to up well, the VR was just outdated, and Bloxy was telling me to run the batch file, which apparently is not what you're supposed to do to update it.
oh
You're
no,
supposed to...
no. I was just wondering what was making all that noise that was capturing your mic.
Oh, I was rubbing sweat smudge off the eyepiece.
Oh, okay. Well, taking so long to authenticate with Steam.
Well, it's mostly just that my server's still starting.
Oh, okay. Receiving server info.
Which I'm gonna have to close again because I want to update the VR, which will just be a quick thing, but yeah, so if I look, they'll probably say that it still needs to update. So we're gonna quit one more time.
Oh.
And then, yeah, I'm gonna quit one more time, install the VR mod update, then it should be fine. Okay, Bloxy sent me a message. Oh, to the big city improved, which I already had anyway.
Oh wait, what? It been improved?
Yo, big city improved.
Scroll to the top of this page and re-download the mod files from the link. Install as usual to overwrite the old files. Wait, so scroll to the top of this page and re-download the mod files. Okay.
Oh yeah, and the install was just to copy the files into the...
So do I... Wait. What do I do? I'm on the top of the page.
Well, they have a download link on the in the description, right?
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so this popped up. VMod module master. I guess I'll put no. Guess I'll put this in. Where did I put this in? Downloads? Okay, where did I put this this master, wherever this VMod module master?
Well, in your Garrys
You want
mod
me to get
folder.
on- Hold on.
Oh.
I'll get on Parsec and
Yeah, at some point, me and you just need to get on the regular Steam VR and just join a room together in that.
you and
Pretty-
Link.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a VR headset, fine, but you can do it too. But just the regular Steam VR stuff.
So.
There's just some fun stuff you can do in just Steam VR. Really, like there's a 3D painting tool, which is super basic, but enough for shenanigans. It's good enough for
Bloxy,
shenanigans.
please.
And of
Oh,
course, people made all sorts of fun little maps to kind of VR chat style your
What do you
way
need?
around in.
okay.
Wait,
I mean,
whoa, hold on, you're just downloading the folder. Go to your downloads. First, you gotta download it. Oh.
alright. Jeez, boss.
I'm trying to help you, but I'm just getting slightly confused. Wow. Yes to all. There. Now your thing should be updated. And you can get rid of that.
Okay, well, thank
Now,
you.
if you launch GarrysMod, oh, someone's calling for me.
We hear Kate's deep breathing.
No.
No, it's fine. I understand. I have to go do deep breathing as well in my Vive headset. Everyone had to
Oh.
hear it. It's
Yeah. No, what's funny is people watching the stream will hear all my Steam VR noises, but even though I'm not showing them Steam VR at all. You'll have to wonder what all these noises mean. And they will never know what I've been drawing.
They will never know. I know what you've probably been drawing, Kate.
What?
You've probably been drawing dicks.
Who's
Well,
been drawing dicks?
Who've been drawing dicks?
You can think whatever you want, Link.
Is it me or is that I see a black screen on your...
It looks like that because you're only seeing the left side of the loading screen. It is a dark gray.
Oh, like... Well, it's the connection failed after it says free tries, what?
Because the server's still loading.
You just went offline.
Yeah, you just went offline.
Wait, what? What? I'm still on Discord with you guys.
Oh no! Did you accidentally unplug internet to the streaming computer? Wait. No, then you would lose the ability to hear us, wouldn't you?
Yeah, Discord's on that computer.
Oh, do you have Discord on the streaming computer where Steam is running?
No, Steam.
Oh.
Steam's running on the gaming computer. Everything else is on the streaming computer.
Well, Steam and the games are on the Steam and the games. Steam, Discord, the games are all on the streaming or the gaming computer. The streaming computer has
Discord's on the streaming
everything
computer.
is. Oh, I'm confused. I'm getting confused.
Because
I'm
it was easier to handle the audio. Because how would I separate the Discord audio from the game audio if they're both running on a separate computer together?
Oh, true.
Well, I guess the answer to that question would be VBAN, but you know.
VBAN. You are using VBAN though.
Yes, I am. Not for the game audio though. That's just going through the capture card. Yep, VR's working now. Yeah, I just need to stand up. I'm pushing the chair. I need to figure out if I'm left or right eye dominant so I know which eye to focus on when I half the screen. To be more accurate to what my view is predominantly.
Yeah, it just said you went offline on Steam.
Oh fuck! My end says I'm online, but it doesn't say I'm playing GarrysMod for whatever reason. In fact,
Yeah, I can't even join your game.
well, I'm pretty sure this is only a Steam problem, and my internet connection is fine.
Oh, never mind. You're online now.
You know, all I
Although
did
not
was
playing a game.
yeah. That I think Steam just fucked up.
Classic.
Classic Steam.
Yeah, I saw. I think I somehow disconnected from their social server, so I have to restart. Also, so apparently I have to restart the game just so the Steam overlay picks it up right. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Because I have to wait for.
More.
Wait, who's the other person that keeps is Delta in here? Or is that just me not recognizing someone's icon from the tiny screen? Does it say I'm playing GarrysMod now?
Let me check.
Lowercase delta, I'm here, yes.
No, it's still saying you're online.
Well, this is wonderful. Okay,
What's
maybe
going
I should.
on?
Steam is being a retard. Other than that, I don't know.
Are you able
I
to
have
restart
never
the
heard
game
you
yourself?
say that.
I should probably start Steam itself. You're right, but this is one of those stupid things. Like, there's no reason why I should be having this problem. Like, there's nothing wrong with the, you know.
I'm gonna restart Steam, actually.
Well, you can if you want, but it's really I'm the one with the problem because it's not like it's only happening to you. I'm not showing up as playing GarrysMod for anyone, which means the problem's on my end. I forget. Does it matter? Oh. I don't know what. Yeah, figured that would just be an error. At the virtual desktop right now, because why not? The one that's built into the Oculus Rift software. Yeah. To be online again. I'm launching GarrysMod. Do I show up as in GarrysMod now? Start the game. Big city. At least 8 player.
Lowercase delta, it does say you are in mod.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because the only problem I was having was the server was running and all, but how do you guys join it if I'm not showing up on your friends list properly? One thing I forget, does VR mod require that I have Steam VR already running, or will Steam VR just launch? I think it does, because everything else that uses Steam VR tends to just automatically launch it, but
Hey. Hey.
Hey, what?
Let's text support the stream.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll just throw my Minecraft VR card at the virtual screen. You guys probably hearing a bunch of weird sound effects right now. But in VR, I'm shooting my bow at a virtual widescreen that's displaying the desktop. That would be the fact that I forgot to turn off my phone ringer.
Comic Pencil 1867, yo.
Hey, Comic.
Yay, text to speech.
How's it going?
Uh.
Yeah, I did shoot a bow in real life at least once. Finally at starting Lua, so the game should be up any time now. Hey, there we go. And the VR is loading now. Team VR is on its loading screen now. And now I'm looking at GarrysMod. And did GarrysMod just crash this time?
It crashed?
Yeah, but I think this is either a one-off crash or just had to do with the fact that I was fooling around in VR while it was loading. Or maybe just alt-tabbed. It just alt-tabbed for some reason.
Still says you're playing.
No, if you heard what I just said, I said it alt-tabbed. It just alt-tabbed on its own.
Oh, weird.
Which made me think it crashed, because in the VR headset it froze, but because, you know, it alt-tabbed. Yeah, so here I am, I guess.
Lowercase delta, I should probably join VC.
Maybe.
Oh, Delta joined. Or did you move him?
I didn't realize I was
Well,
muted
I
this
think-
entire time.
I didn't
He's
move
not
him.
server muted, it's his end.
Anyway, your mouse cursor is showing up on the screen when you go into the menu.
Is it just when I go into the menu?
I think it's when it goes in the menu. See? Like move your right hand.
Oh, well,
see
I
it.
think I think that's just how it works. Like the mouse cursor has, like that's the way it handles the menu.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Somebody did
Downloaded
make it.
one of 811 Lua files. Oh boy.
And see, that's why I kind of like it when everyone has the mods downloaded, because Link joined and made the server lag for a second because he had to start downloading stuff. Well, now you're slowing it down now, aren't you?
I'm at 218 out of
I'm using a super
811 Lua files.
Which the lag I was referring to is when my whole view went to the Steam VR loading screen.
I like how you were like, hello.
Also, I like how your familiar only appears in my right eye, so the stream can't see it. Because I have him looking at my left eye.
Hold on, I only appear in your right eye?
No, not you, your familiar. Whatever it is.
My player model?
No, not you, the thing of the cat that's following you! Your familiar!
Oh, my pack.
Your pack? Is that what it's actually called?
Yes. Yeah, because I use pack editor.
Regardless, you should know what I mean when I say it's a familiar.
No, I don't know what you mean. I have no clue what you mean.
Like a little like
Hey,
pet
Link.
thing.
Hey, Link, you in VR yet? Oh, that's Delta.
That's
No,
something.
I'm not going in VR.
Hey, Delta, you want to see something funny?
Well, I think what he really meant is, are you in the
Oh,
game yet?
man!
I died too.
I love the timed C4.
It's throwing Lua right now.
You know, I don't have any way to mouse wheel to make to make things come closer further away from me.
Lowercase delta, I'm not fully logged in yet.
Oh! Oh! I had a timed C4 there. It actually was timed. Hold on, I'll set it to 10.
Okay.
Oh, you can't
I'll go.
disarm it. Oh god, it's gonna blow.
Your error on my screen. You're actually holding a error. That's what you're.
Oh,
holding.
that's because you don't have MK9. M9K.
Wait,
Oh,
I
I'll show
can't-
you what it does.
Ow.
Allahu Akbar! Oh god. Wait, what? Someone's in. Never mind. It's just Cake being weird. Oh god! I don't have any ammo. No. Stay back! Oh no! I gotta reload. Ah!
Well, that wasn't exactly according to plan.
That was exactly what I intended. Well, I have a sword. Oh! Hold on.
I was in the menu, dude. Oh.
RPGs don't work well in VR.
Eh.
Ow! Come here, you bastard!
Ow. I was holding a Minecraft sword.
I know, I saw. Half-Life Source, since Cake doesn't have it mounted for some reason.
Oh, is it not actually?
You
Well,
gotta you have to select it specifically.
well, it wouldn't help Link because I don't think Link has it anyway.
Well, I can still use it because I do have it.
Yeah, but it'll just show up as an error day when it doesn't.
Undertale Sans power. Okay.
Oh no.
What is?
Well,
what
thank
is
God you
push?
don't have the,
Oh god.
Yeah, admin just has infinite ammo.
Okay. My dad sometimes.
I got an idea.
My dad sometimes can be nice, but sometimes he can just. Eh. I want to see what other weapons. A Titanfall.
Wait. Oh, everything misses.
Yep. Ow! Oh, what?
They don't.
Oh no, they missed too.
Well, how'd you
Hey,
die
wants to
then?
see something hilarious. I don't know. Sometimes they don't, apparently.
Oh.
There. Not
Hey.
lagging would be nice right now.
Hey, Link.
What? That's not. Wait, that's not Bloxy. What?
You'll see in a second. Come here, Link.
Oh, you're a tank.
Yes, come here. Oh no, you don't. Wait, what? And this is admin only. It controls horribly, though.
Yeah, I'm using Spitfire. That's what I'm doing.
Damn it, I missed! Oh god!
You missed again.
No, I have nitro. Ah,
Let's see, where are you?
I'm coming after you, Bloxy.
are you sure that's the best course of action?
Ouch.
Oh god, no! Can't get away! No!
Wait, what?
What?
What does
Wait,
this
what?
do?
How the, what? I just got. What button did I push to get in it? I was just suddenly in the car, which, by the way, the cars are a bit weird in VR.
Oh, this is the Borderlands bus. Guys, this is the Borderlands 1 bus.
How you doing there?
I don't know what I'm doing.
You don't see me waving, do you?
Yeah, I see you waving. Yeah.
Oh, does that actually works?
Yes. Oh god.
God. Bobcat, huh? Ooh. Oh God! No, you want to do that?
You really?
Ah! No! 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 Stop! Ah!
This is really fun in VR too. Just being able to pick you up. Because I'm picking you. Because I just move my hand up and down.
Hold on, I got an idea.
You're playing Minecraft?
Yes. I will build my base where no one will attack me. Or I could be building my story either way.
Unrealistic. It takes 2 shots from a shotgun to destroy dirt.
No! Get out!
Oh yeah? See, where's the... Oh, shovels aren't even a thing. What the hell?
Someone play what?
Oh, that's one of the ULX mods that you have. Well, that I gave you.
Okay, I am safe under this I am perfectly safe. Oh god, no. Oh god, Kate. Oh god. No. Oh, hi there. How's it going? You're using a hoe.
Yes, I am. It's hard to aim with this.
Just me.
Ah.
Ah! Oh.
Oh. I guess
That got rid
that...
of it immediately! That got rid of it immediately! Oh, goodbye.
Hey, check this out, Bloxy.
Oh no. Game lag.
Game
Oh,
lag. Sure, the game
hold on, I see
lag. We got
modded. Never mind, it's not.
I'm sure your game lag if we got a shot at 357 Magnum. Oh god, why am I slow?
How does super hot work?
Like
So
very-
who's using the super hot weapon?
I guess... I am.
Who's using the super hot weapon? No, I'm using the 357 Magnum. Are you using the super hot weapon?
I guess.
Ouch.
Oh god, that's an instant kill, no!
I can't even
How do I
respawn,
control
dude.
the, how do you control the speed of that? How do you control the speed?
By running. The way to make the game run full speed is you have to be running constantly.
I guess I'm not running full speed in VR though.
Oh god!
Ouch.
That's
Charge! Wait, how are you using the, how are you controlling the speed?
Using super hot weapons.
You ain't going to get past me. Lab detected, running lab 15 command. Oh boy.
Hey Link, run into this for me.
Okay.
No, into this over here.
That's a time, I know what that is.
Please, just do it. I need to remove it. Fine, I'll make you do it.
yourself. No!
No,
Stop.
no, I can't.
No. You miss. Ouch.
Did I? Hold on, I'm gonna run clean up everything, or as an admin.
How am I not an admin? Oh wow. Ouch.
What? How did I not hit you? Okay, stop
You're-
using super hot weapons. It's breaking the game.
Are you hitting me with the 9?
Yeah.
Ouch. Bloxy, wrong person.
No, it's not.
Damn.
Oh, I was trying to kill
Wait,
myself.
so why am I not admin?
But more importantly, why is Bloxy admin?
You gave it to me.
How?
Last time we played, you gave it to me using ULX menu, exclamation
Oh.
mark menu.
Oh.
Oh god, your hitbox is so fucked.
You know what?
Oh god.
Okay, I'm coming for you. Right behind you. Pow.
Ah!
Eh.
All right, fine, Cake. You want to play dirty?
Eh. Ouch. Ouch.
Delta not lagging right now, which should be nice.
Do you just
I just love killing myself. All right, let me pick up a sniper rifle. Oh god.
Ouch, Bloxy
Oh!
boy. I was just standing still. You know what? How about a double barrel shotgun, huh?
No, get away from me. Oh god.
Okay, can you send me the download to all the mods? That way these don't come up as well error.
It is a collection in my collections, but I don't know an easy way to get to it right now. Other than it is somewhere really high up on the Discord.
Oh! No scopes. Hey, Link, guess what?
What?
Oh god! Not what I was expecting.
Yeah, murder might be really fun with VR.
Ouch. Hold on, let me go download all the mods. Do you want me to exit disconnect first before downloading?
Well, you won't download them if you're connected to the game.
You have to shut your game down entirely for him to actually load, though. Now that you've started playing. Oh, okay. I'm hitting your head, but it does nothing.
So where is it on Discord?
Oh no! I'm using an intervention. Oh!
And that's what I get for bringing my fist to a sniper fight.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, that just
I
didn't work.
forgot. This map,
Okay, where's the mod pack
Do you not?
collections?
Well, do you know how to look up my mod pack or my mod collections?
On Steam?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I wasn't even. Ouch! What are you doing? Oh God, what is Delta doing? What the?
Oh,
What
there we
the
go.
fuck?
Workshop. Workshop items. Oh, these are all just Portal 2. Lavender Town and stuff. No,
Well,
favorite.
you should be able to. Well, you have to get to my
Oh, collections. No matching file for found for Electricate. What?
What?
Oh, I can actually spawn the DeLorean.
Oh, show Electricate. Oh no.
Holy
no.
Jesus Christ, this thing
Oh,
goes
there,
fast.
there we go. Which one is it? Is it amateur stream collection?
Yeah. Wow.
Ah! DeLorean coming through.
Okay, now it's downloading. Workshop content.
Hold up, I'm just gonna clear my pack and wear it. Honor! Cake, I
What the
see
hell?
you.
I guess while it's downloading, I'll just watch your stream.
Ah! You just got run over by the fucking DeLorean. What is Delta doing? Oh, that's an NPC, is it? Wait a minute, is he riding with me? I can't tell.
Yeah, he is riding with you, but he's not in the DeLorean, is he?
No! Ah! Oh God, it's on fire.
Why are you taking so long to update workshop content?
Ah,
It's...
Well,
oh!
Maybe I gotta close down the stream. Maybe then it will update workshop content.
Oh, you destroyed my wheel! Come here!
oh wait, am I out of ammo? Yes, I'm out of ammo.
Not anymore! Oh God, this is lagging. Oh! Oh God, Joker!
It's Joker.
Oh. Hi.
Are you in the car? Are you in the car? Oh, you're
Yes.
outside of the car.
This is
Oh
awkward.
God, he has the vehicle turret.
Ah, ah!
Okay, so I'm on
Crazy
Garry's-
taxi!
Ah! It's
yeah,
like I'm holding on to the side of it or
Crazy
something.
taxi!
I'm on Garry's mod and it's 1 out of 149. Oh boy.
Oh God. Alright, this isn't working. Oh no. Oh!
I don't even know where I am anymore.
Oh, the tire went missing. Oh!
Eight out of 149. You know what? I'm just gonna watch your stream.
Damn.
I'm just having fun with S-Cars now. Hold on. I have an idea.
And what exactly is your idea?
I'm gonna go to paint job switcher. Oh, there's no purple, damn it.
There's no purple. Oh, purple your favorite color?
No.
Oh,
But you'll see. Oh, God.
hi. How do I get out? Oh. Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
What are you doing,
oh,
man?
that's why. Thanos car. Ah! Ah!
Thanos car.
Thanos car wants you. Oh, oops. Oh God! I broke it. Thanos car is dead. Time machines. Oh, the DeLorean is actually in a different category. What?
Well, it's not NASCAR at all. Should be a way you can make it fly.
Yeah, then I'm probably gonna have to close the stream down so we can download. Yep, there we go.
Oh, this is gonna not work. Huh. I guess.
Oh, I made it fly! I started making it fly, but it's just not working. Not on this map, apparently. Yeah, I've seen how to make it fly, but just not on this map.
$22 out of 149.
I'm in an army vehicle now! And I'm pretty sure you broke a wheel. God! Wait, what the fuck? Where's the wheels? Oh, the wheel is invisible! Get out of here! Oh God, for a second I thought you spawned directly behind me. Suicide. I flipped the Abrams and it killed me. That time it didn't.
What the? Oh, I thought that was Bloxy in there too. Oh,
It's halfway done downloading, by the way.
Oh god, no! Stop! Ah! Ah! Oh god! Oh, you want to do that, huh?
It's more fun when you're in a tank. I can't even know. It's worse. I get no clip with this control scheme.
No! Ah! No! Oh! No!
I can't do much with it because I don't have a mouse wheel for this, but...
Oh! Oh.
Super cringe YouTube, hello.
Hello. Ah. God. I have limited... My control scheme is limited.
Oh, hey, yeah, sure, why not?
I could try.
Ah!
Ow. Is it? Ow. I'm looking at a menu. Where is that one? And, well, you can...
Hold on. I need to tune this.
So is that an S card? Yes, it is.
Hold on, I'm gonna take the tune from the DeLorean and put it on that. Oh, I can't. It's constrained.
Super cringe YouTube, can I join? Yes, I know I just joined the stream, I'm just asking.
Yeah, me and my... type in exclamation point Steam and you'll get a link that will just send me a friend request. Or tell Steam to... Yeah, this Yeah, this isn't doing anything for me. Like, I can sit in it, but...
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh! Oh! Oh, dear God, not what I meant to do. Oh!
Yeah, I'm just kind of rolling now. That's some
Hey,
really
Cake, you wanna
bad...
go flying?
Oh. Damn.
There he goes!
Ah.
I just finished downloading
What?
everything.
Woo, ah.
Oh, there he is! There he is!
Oh, now I'm in the ground. Ow.
Oh. Oh. Oops.
Ooh.
Oh, God, what is Delta doing? Hold on, I got an idea. Oh, God, I'm running admin cleanup everything.
Super cringe YouTube. Okay.
There you go. Accepted.
Oh, finally. Whew.
Hey, Link, guess what? Oh, that's Delta! I just made barrels and exploded in front of Delta's face.
Oh my god.
Hey, Link, guess what?
No.
Yes!
No.
Super cringe
Yes!
YouTube. I did it.
Yep, you should be able to just join from the game now, since it is a... Or join on me, since it is a friend game.
Oh wait, you're not Blosser. Oh god. Oh no.
Oh, God! Hey, Link, guess what?
No.
Now let me build.
It said world killed me.
I know. Hey, Link, guess what?
No. You have no
Dude,
clip on this.
Dude, I'm in God mode.
Wait, I can't kill you?
No, stop! Cake, I'm trying to build!
Looks like you're chasing Link to me.
Oh, that too. Link, can you not?
Did you move me?
Wait, what? Apparently, while I'm crouched, I can't walk at all when I'm holding you with the fizz gun.
Ah. No. Don't make me do it.
Oh.
Don't.
Hey, Link, what you gonna do about this, huh? Bye-bye!
What? Why is everyone tiny?
You're tiny. You're actually standing and showing everyone your gun.
Yeah, I mean, my character looks tiny too. Like, I look down to see my whole character model, but everything looks tiny from my perspective. Like, we're all playing with action figures rather than,
Hold on, stop.
I was trying to get that needle away.
Aw. You're lucky that counts as damage.
Oh my god, why?
Oh. Oh.
You know what?
I'm just having a bit of a power fantasy, not gonna lie. In terms of being in build mode. I don't even need operator status to use build mode.
You do realize that's just a torch, right?
But it lights stuff
What?
on fire, and that's fairly annoying.
Oh, apparently not if it's already on the ground. Will someone just kill me real quick?
Okay. I'll just light you on fire. Somehow.
Do something.
Okay. Alright, here we go.
There.
There we go.
Yeah, apparently
It's
when you
like,
mess with... apparently when you mess with the height setting, it doesn't change till you die.
Hold on, what's the... Oh, no! Ah!
Not why.
Why not? Hey, Link, you want to see something? Ah! I've got an idea. Well, it doesn't start without me. So let me just go ahead and...
Would you like to have a laser pointer?
Oh no, I'm gonna have something even weird, stupider.
Would you
I'm
like to have a
gonna
laser?
wield some props so it actually kills people.
Would you like a laser pointer?
Punches rim him so hard he explodes! If Cake had GarrysMod, this would definitely.
Wait, where
give
was the
someone.
laser pointer?
It's under wire mod or whatever it's called. Yeah, wire mod.
Oh God! Ah!
Laser pointer.
Yeah, the laser pointer doesn't really work in VR
No.
very well.
Oh my god, Bloxy, why do we hate each other?
We don't. We don't. We just do funny. We just do stupid shit to each other.
What did remote control do?
Oh yeah, let me do that, Delta. No, don't sit on that. Sit on this. Yeah. Oh god.
Oh, there we go. I can play what I figured.
Oh, I mean the back. Where the hell was I? What?
Oh well.
Oh god, this ain't right. That's not right. Link, you're lagging. Link, stop, you're lagging.
How am I lagging?
That weapon is very laggy, trust me. In fact, I think I'm honestly gonna restrict it later. This isn't working as it used to.
Hey, Bloxy, guess what? Behind you. Behind you. Okay, are you okay? You're just crouching weird.
Yeah.
What?
I'm sitting down.
What?
I just need to sit down.
What?
Oh god, no! Ah!
Whoa. Ooh.
I learned that from Joel.
From Joel.
Whee! Oh.
Hey, Link. Come
What? No! Oh, it's just a torch. It doesn't do anything.
Oh, I'm sure if I fling it hard enough, it will. Aw, never mind.
I see what it does. Also, how did you not die? Come here! You didn't even use your super hot power at all. Oh god.
Oh.
Now I'm interested to see what this does at low speed.
What?
Oh, that's trippy.
Woo!
Oh god,
Oh.
Wait, what?
I killed myself. Oh no, it froze it. I can't unfreeze it. What the hell?
Oh, wait, what? Hi. What?
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, that looks hilarious.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Surprise! Oh, I didn't backstab you.
This is the surprise mechanic.
I was going to backstab you like
No loot
like
boxes
the
in my
spy.
Garrys mod. Thank you.
Surprise! What do you mean? They're surprise mechanics.
They're surprise mechanics. Where did Delta go? Is he just sitting? Oh, there he is.
There we go. Now I got it working again.
Surprise! Oh,
Oh!
oh god. Where'd he go?
I wasn't even aiming for you either.
I got a knife and I'm not free to use it.
No, stay away! Ah! I got a katana.
Oh god, no.
Hold it for me!
Okay.
Ah!
Stop. What did this do?
I can't move while I'm holding you.
Oh! I actually managed to get you with that.
VR teleport, what?
Yeah, I assume it's like, you know how in VR games how you teleport by pointing at a spot.
Oh, okay. You know what? Have this. I can't even explode myself, dude.
If you really want to kill yourself, just go to MK Specialties and do times C4. Works like a charm. Allahu Akbar!
Okay, have this.
Hey, Link, where are you?
I'm right here.
I love
Wait,
that.
how do you do it?
I'm not telling you now. You ignored me, so you deserve to not know how. Oh god.
Was that the only one I had? Oh, it was.
Here we go!
Oh! No! I tried to no clip away.
Kaboom! Oh.
No! Get out of here!
Oh, I see. So you can
I
change the
completely
time.
missed cake! Oh. No!
Kaboom!
Stop! Thank you, Link. Now I'm gonna see you. Ah! No. I just see you running out. I just see you running towards the back of me, and I just go, no.
What's the ES-41 do? It's just a normal shot. Oh, it's a grenade launcher.
Yeah, is this just a shotgun? Oh, it's a grenade launcher.
Oh, gotcha.
It just looks like a shotgun, but it's actually a grenade launcher.
It's like a grenade launcher to me.
Boom! Hey, check out my weapon. Oh.
No, you're not gonna pull that one on me.
Oh yeah?
Oh no.
Super cringe YouTube. Also, just so you know, I joined the server.
Yeah, I saw your name on the players list when I was looking at the chat. Like right here.
But I haven't noticed them walking around.
Well, I assume they're downloading mods and stuff.
What did this do?
There, I need. Be my weapon.
You don't get in front of me, Kate.
Get out of here. Thank you.
Hey, Link, check out my weapon.
What?
Check
I
out
wanna
my
see your
weapon.
Oh, is that just a medkit?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, dude!
I want someone to kill me and be like, ha, I had a med kit. Joke's on you.
Where did Blotchy go? Oh, there he is. Boom. Oh.
Wait, why do you have the manhack gun?
Why not?
Is he the... He's still a user, that's why I was asking. Oh. Oh, you
Yes!
asshole.
Who do you think used it?
Here it comes! Kaboom!
Oh! It took too long! Oh!
Okay, yes, that works. I was trying to get rid of the man hacks I already spawned, but
What other weapons are there? Oh,
Oh!
balls.
I think I just said Delta flying. Oh! No! Ow!
What does this do? It's explosive.
Dubstep gun! Oh. Dubstep gun, I love it.
You KK, you kind of coughed and then your mic.
well, yeah, I'll be fine.
Oh, cakes. Oh, I didn't even realize you can actually spawn cakes and they give you health.
Boom. How
Oh,
did
you didn't
not
even
die?
kill me! Get out of here, Delta.
Kaboom!
No! Oh god, no, I tapped out. Aw.
I love that thing.
Ouch.
Oh, it's out of that type of ammo.
Ouch.
Oh, I'm right here.
Ah! Wait, what? Where? Alright, fine. I'm going for the best spot. And I'm cock blocking it.
Why is there a bouncy ball? Oh my god, balls. Here he comes! Here he comes!
I wish I didn't have to give myself the secondary fire ammo for that gun.
It's not a gun, it's a time thing, you see?
That's not what I was even talking. Yeah, I swear you only
Time-
half listen. Like,
Oh. Actually, I got a better idea. Ah, stop! No!
Oh god, I got shot at.
Okay, why do you do this?
God, what's my use button?
Oh God, no, Delta, why? That was me hoping.
Oh, my
Hi.
use wait, is
What?
use really the same as my primary trigger?
I know where you guys at now.
Alright. I don't have no clip, so I'm gonna have to like walk around and find ya.
Beep beep boop beep beep. It's the time C4. I love it. Oh, I think I see you up there. The question is how you got up there.
Oh, you just can't get up here. No, Delta, stop no clipping in here.
I wonder.
I wonder. Ah, shit.
Why doesn't the primary fire and the gravity gun work?
I mean, the two doors are at the front of the this, but you're probably not going to get very far with that.
It's...
It's no fun, Blosky, when you're in a place I can't get to.
You can, but have fun trying.
Ah,
What? Did you just try to suicide bomb that?
How do I walk?
where's Blosky?
Hey, watch this.
Slam!
Why
Oh,
can't I
scram!
trigger it? Oh, there we go.
Oh no, how you get up there? How you get through there?
I don't know.
Well, there's only one way to get out, Kate. Oh, no, never mind.
Me!
Ow.
Oh!
Oh, I know what to do. Yes!
Oh! You killed Delta, but not me. It's a bunker, by the way.
Ah!
Hey, Link, guess what? Oh, that didn't work.
Oh, oh no. That move, Delta!
Oh.
Alright, well, I might head to bed now, because I got a big day
Aw.
tomorrow.
What do you have to do?
Ask for treat.
Oh, we didn't even have a chance to play murder.
Anyway, peace out.
Wait, what? No, that's cheating.
I can't even no club, so what's your point?
I mean, you can no clip, but
Well, I don't know.
oh wait, it's because you're in VR.
Yeah,
mod.
I just don't have. Yeah, I just don't have. There's not a button for no clip on the VR controller.
Probably for good reasons. So, do you want to actually build stuff instead of just
I don't know.
doing stupid shit like
I can't even use the scroll wheel or the reload button on the physics gun. So
You don't
Yeah,
really
makes-
need the reload button.
oh, isn't that to rotate?
Oh, you mean mouse wheel?
Well, mouse wheel is the you make it go further and closer. You hold R to make it rotate, don't you?
No, it's E.
Oh well, I still can't do E anyway because E is also the primary fire.
What do you have bound to use?
It's the same as click. I think that's why they give you the empty hand.
Oh.
I think I might have been out of ammo.
Ow. Fuck.
Mag- oh shit. When's the ammo for it?
I'm actually kind of curious what dupes there are. Oh, hey, there's this one. What is this one again? Oh, it's this! It's a cake maker.
Oh.
Actually, it's a fake. It has a turret, too. Oh, that's hilarious.
I don't know. Kind of bored of the aimless shenanigans, but I don't know if there's anything else. Anything
And
else
then
to try?
I'm wondering if the turret can actually kill me from this distance.
Ow.
Oh, yes, it can!
Is
Ouch!
there anything else you want to do, or
Other than just mess with dupes now? Oh, that's right.
I'm just kind of like, I'm just kind of bored at the moment.
Do you want to check if Minecraft is back online?
Maybe. But I don't know. Part of me just generally tired too. Combination of the heat and standing this whole time.
Oh!
Plus it's like 8:30 too, because
Oh.
I mean, granted we had a late start, but you know.
Yeah.
But you know. Plus next time we do GarrysMod, I kind of want to play some actual game modes.
All right.
I want to try Murder in VR and Trouble in Terrace Town and maybe Slender. I don't know. See what works, what doesn't. You know. No one's drawing in blood.
Oh no. Oh! I tried spawning a sawmill and I hit profit limit.
Oh. Yeah, I guess it doesn't work under the default limits.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that because that's way too big.
But anyway.
Destructible wooden truck, I think. This is.
Who's still... Yeah, Delta left too, by the way.
Yeah, I saw. He said he was gonna.
Use either. Yes, I know you use either rotate, but I'm playing on VR. I don't have standard controls, and I don't have... Like, one of those things, I don't think about it when I play normally. Is there a passenger seat? No.
Well, there is, but it's kind of missing.
Well, it doesn't have...
Since,
Like, as nice as Big City is, it is kind of mostly flat. And just...
Oh, dice machine. Oh. What is that supposed to be? A 6 or a 9?
It's a 6-sided die.
Oh.
Oh, I rolled a 9! I can't have no club, but I can knock you out of no club.
Oh god, lag.
Why doesn't the physics gun have its own third-person model? Looks like you're holding the gravity gun.
Oh, I think that. Oh.
You think I noticed
Wait,
what it was?
Oh, I know what this is. Pod control. Okay. Now try firing.
Um,
Oh, I don't think you can. Hold on.
yeah, it keeps just focusing on the chair.
Oh!
There was someone right there.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna save that.
Oh, alright. Well, after you do that, I might call it. Because I'm just kind of feeling it at this point. But I do want to do more of this. Maybe tomorrow. This or something.
Probably try Vivecraft again tomorrow, maybe?
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I'll probably be up by then, but at the same time, too, it's like... Not much. Just whenever I do GarrysMod again, I definitely want to try some other than just Sandbox.
there is another player who's here.
Yeah. He joined in from the stream. Plus, my feet are also killing me a bit too, since I've been doing this after work too. Tomorrow, I will not have worked all day, so I'll be less tired. In that regard.
All right.
Regardless of which VR thing we end up doing, whether it's Vivecraft or GarrysMod or VR chat.
Yeah, but playing murder would be hilarious and fun.
Yeah, it would be.
We should probably make it so that all of Chaos, sneak it into the Chaos Core pack and have it so that everybody downloads it.
Oh yeah, I've definitely added it in, but especially since not everyone needs the VR to have the mods, so. But I even just told him, like, I'm going to be playing VR next time we do GarrysMod.
In Chaos Core as well?
Yeah, like, I just told him that. Like, straight up, like, we need to do GarrysMod again, because I'm playing in VR. Oh, thanks for the sub, follow, whatever it is. I can't see it in the VR, really, but I appreciate you, whoever you are.
I like how it also uses TF2 music. That was pretty cool.
Should I in theory pick it up with the physics gun and aim it on you?
Oh, God. But there's also explosives. And that's the problem with the explosives portion. No, stop! Ah!
Ah! Okay, I know that there's another player here, and I see stuff they've been spawning, but I've not seen them yet.
They've been hiding in the ground.
Oh. Well, that's no fair. I can't no clip.
I didn't know clip. I was just holding it.
No, not you, him.
Oh.
When you said he was hiding in the ground.
Oh. Hey, I
Also,
got a minigun.
Apparently, I can't even walk while I'm using the fizz gun. I will use you as a weapon. I want to walk behind you so I can be like, I'm using you as a weapon.
Do it. Let's do it.
I could have brought myself a gun. Instead, I brought myself a crazed gunman! Damn.
Well, this is my favorite one of all. The death metal dubstep gun is by far my favorite. Oh! You are not doing what I think you are.
Yes, sir.
Burn. No, burn. Burn.
I wish
for
I
that.
could see what it looks like from your perspective.
Burn. Burn for that. I hate dabbing.
I like how you just kind of stopped and fell down.
Stop! I'm trying to play music.
Oh, why isn't oh, because I'm looking at entities, like guns. That's why.
Oh no. No, it's fine. Shakuto. I'm just playing spooky, scary skeletons over here.
You actually see me hold the gun sideways?
Oh, yes, gangster style.
Wait.
Right click his shotgun and reload his Nyan bomb. Nyan bomb. Avoid the Nyan bombs!
Oh, there's
Oh
my
god,
reload
oh
button.
god, you're sending him back!
Took me a moment to find my reload button.
Hold on, I want to just take out a Horda Combine with this. Hold on, I'm gonna go into ULX settings. URS, restrictions. Oh, this was a terrible idea. Oh god! Ah!
Ow.
Ow!
I like how I can shoot around corners.
Can you? Hold on, show
Yeah.
me. Oh my god, you can! Holy shit!
Yeah, I know. That's the thing about VR.
But you can't use this.
Well, I mean, I could,
prob-
but it's just boring.
I don't think it'll work.
Well,
Oh, does it work?
Yeah, I mean, just like the crowbar and stuff, I just point and click, though.
You don't even have to point with this. Usually it's just supposed to... Because I can just kill you
Well,
by...
you're aiming the...
into
Yeah,
you.
but you're still aiming... Oh, wait, you mean like... Oh.
Yeah, I don't have to click at all.
Yeah, I did...
What I was wondering is if you don't have to click either. Can you just wave it around and whack me with it?
I don't think the waving around aspect works, but I think I could just run into you. Unless... Wait, I'll come think of it. Yeah, it does do that arm animation, doesn't it? No.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh, it hit me for a second, but I think it was just because I was close to you.
Well, I also clicked, too. Yeah, the clicking part works, just not the running into you bit. Either that, or it could be just because the model isn't where it... Where is it?
I broke it.
Oh. I want to take it out with the neon gun. Neon.
Just wish you had Half-Life Source enabled. That would be
Well,
fun.
I can make sure to... No, I can make sure to do that in the future. Anyway, I am actually starting to get to the point where my feet are getting really tired.
Alright.
But yeah, that was fun.
Execute command on server console. Can I do this? Oh! I think I actually disconnected you! Did you
Well,
get
that's
sent
fine.
to the main menu?
Yes.
I ran... Alright, yeah, that's what I intended to do. Could you actually look at your monitor? And then do you see the little gamepad at the bottom of your screen?
I know how to do it.
Alright, just making sure.
I just think I was making... I think I
I'm really excited.
I just very
Dude,
specifically...
they finally added the ability to spawn in the Half-Life Source weapons in Sandbox, and I really want you to be able to do that the next time we do Sandbox.
I might have to actually mount it the next time I launch GarrysMod, because the mouse isn't quite... No, never mind. It was... No, the whole menu was... Never mind, the menu was just lagging.
Ah.
And because I was trying to go down the list and click on them, it made me think that it was misaligned, but no. It just tricked me.
Alright.
Still though.
Alright, well, see you later.
Yeah.
See you later. Bye, everyone who's still on the stream.
Bye.